We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about all types of different things in 2020.
Because frankly, I want to know what the preview is of 2021.
Hey,
Welcome to the closing table with the Money Guys, Sidney Young and Jared Parrish. This episode is being brought to you by HELLOOOO Financial, HELLOOOOFinancial.com, your source for real estate investment funding. Now, presenting the Money Guys.
All right. Welcome to the closing table. My name's Sidney Young.
And Jared Parrish.
We're the Money Guys because we got your money. Hey, it is New Year's Eve 2020.
Can you believe this year has gone
I am
by
so
fast?
freaking glad it's New Year's Eve 2020, man. I remember, and by the way, today we're going to talk about 2020. And before we wrap up, we're going to talk about 2021. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about all types of different things in 2020.
Because frankly, I want to know what the preview is of 2021.
Hey, this time last year, of course, we knew COVID existed, but we didn't know it was getting ready to dominate our world.
Yeah, at this point last year, I think we were just hearing about some things going on in China.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, it doesn't really.
How does the president do it?
China. It's huge. But we heard about that. We heard what was going on over there, and all with some exceptions to the people who really care about what's going on around the world.
Yeah.
Most people are like, well, it's not here. It's not going to affect us.
We didn't think it was going to.
No, we weren't.
I mean, last New Year's Eve, me and you said, man, 2020, we're going to take.
It's going to be the year, man.
HELLOOOO Financial's going to just, woo.
This is going to be our year. Everything's going to be better. Everything's going to be great. And it was just like, where is it?
Somewhat. I gotta say, HELLOOOO Financial. I don't want to turn this to a HELLOOOO Financial commercial, but
you say that every show.
I know, I say every show. We made it through the toughest part of the century, and we're still alive. We're growing extremely strong. So in that sense, our company really came shining through.
Yes, I mean when we got hit with that, at the very beginning, we were kind of like, what the fuck? But we're really strong-minded. We persevere.
Yeah.
And as far as letting that get to us, we're just like,
Not up in here!
Not up in here.
No, we push through. And actually, 2020 sucked for a number of different reasons. But we've had a pretty damn good year, man.
I'll tell you, when you deal with hedge funds are very particular about who they take on as a partner. They don't allow just a general guy, come and get involved with them because there's a ton of reasons why. And in a sense, COVID tightened a belt on hedge funds, and hedge funds make no money if they're not using their money for business purposes. And we got involved with some very, very large hedge funds because of COVID. And we proved ourselves with them by now. We've done thousands, millions of dollars of deals in hedge funds, not thousands. And, and it sort of helped us. We now have funding from hedge funds that we would never have had if it wasn't for COVID. So it made us bigger, really did.
Yes. And I'm going to be thankful for COVID for one reason, as far as it put a lot of – I'm just gonna call it duck a duck. It put a lot of bullshit lenders out of business.
Yeah, the chuck and the truck went away,
and it did drive a lot of new clients to our door because we stayed open. We pushed through the whole thing, and with some limitations.
Yeah, there were limitations. It changed the appraisal process.
Yeah.
And
the closing process.
They still have closings where you sit across the table. Majority of today's closings are taking place at your home.
Yeah, now your kitchen table is the closing table.
That's right. Your kitchen table is the closing table with you.
Yeah.
A lot of things changed in 2020. Example, those of us that have kids that were seniors this past year in 2020, my daughter was a senior. And come March, pretty much one day they said, don't come back to school until we tell you further notice. And they never went back.
I feel so bad for for the seniors this year that did have to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in high school was just a great time for me. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and not having that, the prom experience, because it screwed up their prom.
They didn't have prom.
Screwed up their graduation, which is supposed to be this great event.
My daughter still had graduation. We took a football field and they spaced out chairs all. I mean, she was very, very back.
Yeah, but it's not the same as what they would do before.
And when your last name is Young and you're in the very, very back, you're kind of out of breath by the time you make a 100-yard hike up to the stage.
I didn't even think of that.
Woo, catch it.
No. And we had some twists and turns, but yeah, just to kind of kick it off as, we're going to say adios, but start our segment of 2020 things that did bad, things that did right.
2020.
What went bad? What went right? What went bad? Let's leave the good stuff in 2020.
We're taking that with us.
Because we need to cherish those moments.
2020 brought a lot of good things to light as well. It brought a lot of bad things to light. In 2020, I mean, let's talk government. The government stepped in
You
about.
want to talk government?
Oh, little government. Me talking government. Imagine that. They stepped in about March or April and said, "Hey, everyone's got to shut down." People, unfortunately, lost their businesses. Still don't have them today, and it affected lives. There's a lot of people today that are struggling to eat. That are in a situation where they couldn't pay their bills, and now, starting tomorrow, the 1st, their house note is due. Thousands of dollars in past payments are due.
Yeah.
There's so much struggle out there right now in the United States because of COVID, and the government stepped in and trying to help. They're currently trying to help. I don't know. What's your take on that?
Yeah, they are. I mean, everyone's opinion on the way the government handled COVID-19, I think, is the same as, as an armpit, like they say. Everyone's got one. They all stink. I think they did the best that they could with what they had at the time, because I mean everyone was really blindsided by it. Yeah. The one thing that I'm upset with how everything happened is how the media really kind of took advantage of the situation and polarized everyone.
What do you mean?
Everyone was shut in, so they're stuck with their Facebook feed and what they see on TV. And I've talked to a number of people about this, and we are more than our political party. Every individual out there, so many people get wrapped up in politics, and if you're a Democrat, you're stupid. If you're a Republican, you're a racist, and it's bullshit. We were friends. Remember 90s? No one talked about this. We were just friends. We hung out. They're like, oh, well, what's your view on what's going on in Iran? It's like, I don't know what's going on. Let's just have a good time.
The question then was, do you have any beer in your refrigerator?
Exactly. And if you actually sit down and talk to someone, you're going to find out that y'all have more in common than political views.
There's people who disown others because of political views.
Yes.
It's insane.
There's family members that don't talk to each other because of political views now.
Yep.
And it's
insane.
stupid. Yes, can you vote and try to change things? Yeah, you could vote, but it's one vote in 300 million people. But let's be honest, there's nothing you can really do about it. Quit arguing with people. Be friends.
And then while we're talking about changes, COVID 2020, the hospital situation, healthcare workers. You know what? We never really thought of a nurse as someone in a bulletproof vest with guns out protecting us until now. Now, nurses and doctors, you can poop on the floor. We'll clean it up for you.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to give this applause out to all of the nurses, the first responders, everyone that was really out there getting their hands dirty with it all. This one's for you guys.
Man, I'm telling you.
They did a lot of work.
It changed nursing procedures. It changed how paramedics go out and render aid. It's changed how police officers interact with people. It's changed everything as far as the emergency fire department. Mm-hmm. Look at these people. There's thousands of firefighters and police officers who got COVID and died because of their regular daily duties. Yeah. There's thousands of nurses out there that were exposed because of their regular duties.
Yeah, I mentioned it before. My brother's a nurse practitioner, and pretty much every nurse on his floor has gotten COVID-19. And there were a lot of people who lost their lives. I mean, it wasn't just because there were some other things involved, but it hit a lot of people in really hard in multiple ways.
You know, and so think about how things have changed. Now, I want to compare COVID-19 to 9/11. Before September 11th,
hell of a comparison.
well, a lifestyle. Before September 11th, we were living a pretty free lifestyle. You walked in the airport, no big deal, and you hopped on a plane. Everywhere you went, no big
you
deal.
could leave your shoes on.
Yeah, you leave your shoes on. Cameras were not in every freaking corner everywhere.
Yeah.
September 11th happens, and life changed. We will never, ever go back to pre-9/11. Guess what? We will never, ever go back to pre-COVID. Vaccine, all this stuff.
You really think we're going to be wearing face masks in restaurants?
I don't know about. Well, we don't do it today. You wear it to walk in. That's it.
Well, that's and
yeah, no, it's kind of ignorant.
I know it's
a protocol.
Well, here's something that I think COVID has really brought out.
What's that?
It's highlighted the stupidity in so many things that we do.
Oh, the idiot riding down the car by himself with a face mask on.
But not only that, but all right, good examples like what we just mentioned in the restaurants.
Yeah.
So you got to wear a mask from the front door because you didn't wear it before the front door because you put it on as you walked in the front door, from the front door to the table. When you sit down, you take it off. It's like, is that the only risk? I mean, everything's.
But it looks good.
Yeah,
you're saving lives.
Or like Harris County.
Yeah.
Harris County, all the tax registrar's office. Like I can't go get my tags renewed.
Yeah.
Because they're closing. Like,
well, you don't need to.
Well, we're trying to prevent the spread. It's like because the same people that would go to your tax offices aren't going to grocery stores, restaurants, and.
But so will life go back to pre-COVID-19? My opinion is never. It's going to be the same. Never be the same. Yeah. You can hit the button. No. This will not happen.
Yeah.
But we're going to go probably back to a healthier world because we're not going to become as ill from. We weren't going to be as what's the word? You won't be so
as exposed.
Before COVID-19, if you got a cold, you freaking you
didn't care.
Today, you don't go to the hospital for any little thing. You cannot. You're going to the hospital if it's serious stuff because they won't even take you.
Yeah. See, I disagree about the health part.
What's that?
I think health is going to get worse with these types of protection. So here's my reasoning behind it. Over the past 10 years, maybe a little bit more, the use of hand sanitizers
oh my God
has gone nuts.
Especially
now,
making money.
Especially now. But with all the hand sanitizers, because they're trying to, we got to kill bacteria.
Yeah.
Man, we need the bacteria so our body can learn how to fight it off. We need it more.
We can't keep hand sanitizer in the office. He keeps drinking it. Anyway,
hey, it's good buzz.
It's good. We're gonna take a commercial break now. Let me talk to you about commercials in 2020. Go ahead. We're gonna take a commercial break because this is a defunct commercial. This is a business that is no longer in business. We'll be right back.
The guest room always seems to be full during the holidays, and we always seem to need sheets and towels. Thank goodness Mervyn's always has a white sale before Christmas. Right now, their entire stock of sheets and towels is 20 to 50% off. There's a good selection of sheets in flannel, cotton, and percales. Also towels including Celebration in colors you can mix or match. Our guests aren't the only ones with new sheets and towels. Santa's giving me some, too. You'll find lots of great gift ideas.
Now, did I tell you that's a defunct commercial? That business no longer in business doing business with a business like our business, see?
We put the funk in the defunct.
And so for 2021, you want a real commercial, we ought to put one of our buddies' commercials up there eventually.
Yeah, actually, we've got some getting lined up.
We have to tell you, talk about in 2020, we started this podcast several months ago. Talk about where our listeners come from. He tracks them.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool because we'll get listeners from all over the place.
Yeah.
California, West Virginia. We'll get some Arkansas, Florida, New York. We'll get them all over the place. But it's not very consistent. But I have noticed some consistencies.
Mm-hmm. You fall on us.
So we've got someone in just outside of Paris, France, listens to every show.
I love
Thank you very
Paris,
much.
France.
We appreciate that.
Probably a 12-year-old boy, but oh well.
Yeah. And we also have someone in Manchester, England.
Do we really?
Every single show. I think it's so cool.
What if it's Paul McCartney?
We're worldwide. We're prestige worldwide.
What if it's Paul McCartney listening in Manchester, England?
I highly doubt it.
You doubt? Okay.
I highly doubt it. But if it is, Paul, I love Hey Jude.
Sir Paul.
Sir Paul.
That's right.
Love Hey Jude.
But we back to 2020. Everything's changed. I think it's the vaccine's out now. Will that change things back to normalcy? I don't know. We're going through the first wave of vaccine. What do you think?
I don't think normalcy is a thing that we're going to see for a while. And I hate people saying the new normal. No, it's not. There's nothing normal about it. But I think the vaccine is going to help. But once again, this brings in more argument with people because they, not to quote Trump again, but the fake news.
China.
There's so many people that are talking trash about vaccines. One, because you have this whole anti-vaxxer group that are saying, "Oh, it causes autism." There's no science to support that. They're like, "Oh, well, it's causing retardation too." It's like, well, there's no science to back that up. But vaccines have helped us get rid of a lot of things. Polio doesn't happen anymore. Measles doesn't happen anymore.
Okay, 5 years from now, you're going to see that commercial on TV with the law firm. Did you take the COVID-19 vaccine in the year 2020? Call us now. Be part of a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, and that law firm's going to be banking.
Okay, the vaccine is out now. All the frontline people, healthcare workers, people like that are getting the vaccine. That's good news. Now, also in the year 2020, real estate really, in my opinion, it didn't go up, it didn't go down, but it's getting ready to go down.
Well, for one thing that happened with real estate is for your conventional loans.
Yeah.
People buying their own house. They are the lowest rates in history.
Yeah.
I heard, I'm not offering this and I'm not quoting anyone. I need to send out that little disclaimer. But I heard of a guy who, and a friend of ours that did it, got a 15-year mortgage at 1.89%.
Oh, wow.
I've never heard it that low.
Uncle C?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, Uncle C did it. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. But at the same time, now, all those deals need appraisals. There's only a certain amount of appraisers out there. It really screwed up our appraisal time, unless you have special connections like HELLLOOOO Financial.
Yeah. Now, if you ever thought about becoming an appraiser,
now's a good time.
This is the time to do it.
Okay, let's talk about, it still relates to 2020, the forbearance program.
Forbearance program. So I honestly think that this was shooting from the hip type thing. The government had pushed for all the lenders to offer forbearance. And even though it may have said it in the fine print, I don't think any of the lenders really explained what forbearance was. And a lot of people said, oh, well, I get to skip these payments, tack them on at the end, be done. That's the way it should have happened. But that's not what it was. So all of the payments that they missed at the end of the period, whether you took a 3-month, 6-month, 12-month period, they got to make all those payments. If that person wasn't able to make his monthly payments, his regular mortgage payments during that period of time, what the hell makes you think he can make all 10 at once?
It's insane. It really is. It's going to cause an issue here in the first quarter of next year.
I really hope and I do pray that we see some additional help come in, not necessarily from the government, but for lenders to offer a little bit more flexibility with deferments and loan modifications and getting those out to keep people in homes. I mean, there's going to be a lot of foreclosures out there because there's a lot of Americans that still haven't been able to get back to work. And even if they were able to tack those payments on at the end of their mortgage, they still can't make their monthly mortgage payment. So those people are unfortunately going to lose their home.
Another thing, utility bills. A lot of utility bills have been racking up for months now, and they haven't cut them off. Guess what's getting ready to happen?
Yeah.
Time to pay the piper.
And, think about it, too. Utility bills in general have gone up.
Could you imagine you got a $3,000 utility bill now because you haven't paid in months?
Nope.
And they're demanding you pay? Dude, it
sucks. But also utility bills in general have gone up because people are working from home now. People are staying at home.
That's very true.
Light bills are higher.
Which we talk about prior to COVID and the new life after COVID, working at home.
That's something that has changed a lot in business in general. I was speaking with one of my group health insurance clients.
Yeah,
I handled that for them. And they had mentioned that their company, I think it was like 80, 90 employees, they were leased in an office building in Austin, Texas. And because of COVID, everyone worked from home. Now they're like, wow, we're saving a ton of money not having to bring everyone into the office.
Right.
And our productivity is still keeping at the same level. Mm-hmm. And they said, screw it, don't come back. And they ain't the only ones.
Yeah.
New York has been hit, I want to say, the hardest because they had the most expensive real estate in the country as far as for officing.
Yeah.
And people, they're just gone.
So
companies have moved
also, this past year's created opportunities too. Airbnbs are now being rented out as office areas. Mm-hmm. There's also office space being converted for other purposes because they can't lease the office space out. There's all types of changes taking place that affect the new so-called norm.
But don't think that all the changes are. Did it negatively impact the status quo?
Yeah.
Yes. But that means that there's new opportunity.
There are new opportunities.
Everyone wants to sit there and piss and moan about things changing, but the successful people look at where there is an opportunity.
Hey,
that's
there's
important.
people come out with these new creative masks. I've seen that because masks aren't going away now.
That is a totally brand new industry that has come out.
They got this insert you put in now. It creates a little space so you can breathe with your mask on.
Without fogging up your glasses.
Yeah, and that thing's only $5. And it probably costs them 10 cents to make.
Yeah, I saw one the other day where it had these LED lights across the front.
Really?
And so as you were talking, it was noise sensitive. So as you would speak, the LED lights would make it look like it was a mouth.
I like that. See, creativity.
And I saw some celebrities that just like to spend stupid amount of money on things that aren't worth it. Louis Vuitton masks.
Oh, Louis Vuitton. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of Louis Vuitton, it won't be Louis Vuitton, but we're going to take another defunct commercial break. Enjoy this commercial because they're no longer in business. We'll be right back.
It's May Value Days at Woolworth with savings for everyone. There are lots of summer values. Great buys like women's brightly colored t-shirts in the latest styles. Now 2 for just $9. Save $4 on men's Woolworth Sprinter jogging shoes, just $13.97. And save $3 on boys' Sprinters, just $13.97.
It's your everyday store for value, 'cause at Woolworth it all goes far.
I told you they was out of business. COVID had nothing to do why they was out of business. Out of business because they was out. Shit. Which, unfortunately, now we're talking about 2020. We're going to spend the last little time. We're talking about our 2021 goals, perspectives, what we think. Okay, let's talk about 2021 as far as money goes. I think the government's stepping in. They're going to give everybody to about $2,000, something like that. They're doing a lot of
unless you owe child support,
then you ain't getting it. Pay your children, and then they're also going to step in with different programs. It's a Band-Aid, but you can't expect the government to come in and CPR you.
Well, all right. It's how do you fix something when the problem isn't over yet?
You can't.
So
there'll be ongoing things. I think.
I mean,
we got a new president.
We could talk about conspiracy theories and all day long. And my personal opinion, I think a lot of what happened with COVID, there was definitely some fuckery going on as far as the whole election. But I think starting next year, I think things. They keep warning everyone. Oh no, there's going to be another shutdown. There's going to be another bunch of crap happening. I think after the new year, I really do pray this is true, that things do start to settle down and we can start the rebuilding process.
You know what? I'll tell you, I voted for Trump, but when he didn't make it, I said, all right, well, we got a new president. I got to support the president, move on. And I kind of don't like the Trump does not like to lose. I don't like the spoiledness that he's not cooperating with Biden and everything else. But I still have friends that honestly, truly believe that there's going to be a big overturn and Trump's going to stay in office. I said, dude, on the 20th, it's over for him. You know, let's move forward.
I mean, I do truly believe that there was a lot of fraud.
Could have been.
But I think we have fraud in every single election that we have.
At this point, who cares? Move forward.
Well, I mean, I care, but, once again, remember how I said, you can't do anything about it. Don't argue with your friends. Don't lose friends that you've had.
Biden's in. We're going to move forward with that. There's a lot of things happening. 2021, people are so tired of being at home, so tired of being down, that I think we're going to have more entrepreneurs. My personal opinion is we have more new business and entrepreneurs in 2021 than ever.
Out of necessity comes creativity.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people, especially the ones who have found it difficult to get back to work, I think those are the people that are really going to try something new. And some of them. And take this as an opportunity to say, you know what, I can't go back to work. We're at least able to get some extended unemployment, which was extended to a lot, and able to start up something and do what they've always wanted to do.
Yep.
So, you know, I've always wanted to do this, or, hey, I've wanted to become a realtor for so long. And this way they can jump into it. You know,
2021 will be here in a few short hours.
Yes. Now,
it will. And let me tell you something, my friend. I wouldn't be in a business with any other man other than this one right here.
I got to say the same thing.
I've learned a lot from him. He's probably learned more from me, but anyway, I've learned a lot from him. And in 2021, me and this man right here are going to grow even stronger. We're going to help other people grow stronger. Go to HELLOOOO Financial, HELLOOOOFinancial.com, and grow with us in 2021.
We wish everyone a happy new year. Hope you have a prosperous 2021. And we'll be right here with you when you come back tomorrow or next week, next year. See you next year, everybody.
We'll see you next year. Be safe.